One Zambia, one nation. Hello and welcome to the news. My name is Henry Himonde. Let's take a look at the headlines in our news. President Hichilema says countries should unite to address challenges. Drug Enforcement Commission records progress in fighting financial crimes. Floods affect over 20,000 farmers in Southern Province. And local government permanent secretary happy with CDF projects in Dola. And now the news in detail. President Hakainde Hichilema has called for concerted efforts in addressing the challenges that Zambia and other countries are facing. President Hichilema says working together will help find new and innovative ideas to drive countries towards their shared developmental aspirations. He says being a global village, the world has been facing common problems, citing energy deficits, food security, effects of climate change, lack of peace, insecurity and instability, among others, that require joint efforts to solve. President Hichilema said this during the annual greeting of the Diplomatic Corps at State House today. And Dean of Diplomatic Corps in Zambia, Walid Hassan, commended government for initiating progressing social and economic transformation plans anchored on the 8th National Development Plan. Meanwhile, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Stanley Kakubo, said the annual greeting of the Diplomatic Corps reaffirms shared commitments to finding lasting solutions to challenges.
We begin this year with renewed confidence and vigor in our continued collaboration, which we believe will produce tangible results that will better the lives not only for the people of Zambia, but the global community as a whole. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the year 2023 presents several challenges to all of us as a country, but to all of us, in terms of, if I may just itemize a few, because there are many challenges. A build-up from 2022. One of these is food insecurity in our communities and in our countries. Energy is the second one for us in this region. But we also know that even colleagues in Europe, you are facing, or they are facing, energy issues, challenges, again, arising from things that they never planned for. And that is true to say we have to find solutions to these challenges. Alone is difficult, but together it's easier.
Among many important achievements have been made and at various levels, and other achievements that are being worked on, we mentioned, including but not limited to: first, restoring stability to the economy, reducing the inflation rate, and then working to address the issue of national debt crisis by launching negotiations to restructure and dismantle it as a major economic challenge.
Each year, we come together to express our country's gratitude for the partnerships with you, our friends and allies, and also to reaffirm our shared commitment to human dignity, as well as the liberties and freedoms of our people.
In Eastern Province, the provincial administration has called on various stakeholders to collaborate with the Ministry of Health in sensitizing communities on how to prevent an outbreak of cholera. Eastern Province Assistant Secretary Clement Chilembo says the increasing number of cholera cases in Febray district requires a multi-sectoral approach to manage. Mr. Chilembo said this when he addressed heads of government departments during the Incident Management System meeting in Chipata. More in the following report by Lubasi Mutafela.
With some increasing number of cholera cases in Febray district, authorities in the province have started putting up measures to prevent the spread of the disease to other districts. A combined team of provincial heads of government departments, chaired by the provincial administration, have met in Chipata to revamp the provincial incident management system.
We have to revamp the functions of this particular committee in order that it works out specifically to look at the most critical challenge, which is the outbreak of cholera as for today. So, as you are aware, colleagues, government today does not take kindly for departments to work in isolation. We believe that every department must work in conjunction with other departments and with several relevant stakeholders to combine expertise, harness resources, and map out ways which will ensure that the problem at hand is adequately handled.
The Provincial Health Office highlighted some of the cholera risk factors identified in Febray districts.
Areas that have reported cholera, so that puts us at risk. The small-scale mining that is happening in Malawi there is bringing people from different parts, from Malawi, Zambia itself, who are collecting gold from those things. And when you go there, there are no sanitary facilities. There is no safe water there for the people that are working there. The other risk factor is that our people have low immunity against cholera. We've never had vaccinations of cholera like in Vubwi, as we've had like in Lusaka and also Mpulungu.
Dr. Matthew Zingambi is Provincial Health Director.
The call from our department, the Department of Health, is really that we need your assistance to manage this condition. I think as a province, we should not let ourselves get to the point that our neighboring countries have reached.
Reporting for Zanis in Chipata District, I'm Lobasi Mtafela.
In Muchinga Province, the local authority in Chinsali District is concerned that very few restaurant operators are obtaining food handlers certificates. Chinsali Municipal Council Assistant Public Relations Manager Lola Vyesimukoko says the local authority has noted that many restaurant owners have not registered for valid food handlers certificates. And Mr. Simukoko disclosed that the Council Public Health Department has started heightened measures to prevent any possible outbreak of cholera in the district. Details in the following report by Henry Lumpa Jr.
In the advent of cholera cases reported in Febray district in Eastern Province, the Chinsali local authority in Mchinga Province have started heightening preventive measures to curb the spread of the disease to the district. With Chinsali not recording any cases of cholera for many years now, restaurant operators, especially at the Chinsali main market, have expressed worry over the cholera outbreak in the neighboring province. However, the local authority have also raised concerns over the low compliance levels of some restaurant operators of getting food handler certificates while heightening the cholera preventive measures.
We wouldn't love to come and intervene in their activities, as it would actually negatively affect their businesses. So in order to avoid any inconveniences, we encourage them to ensure that they are certified with food handlers certificate. That way we'll be moving in the same direction.
Timfwembe Kalao is Chinsali main market chairperson and has since appealed to the council to supply more beans around eating places.
Number one,
other restaurant operators have also advised their colleagues to validate their food handler certificates. In a bid to curb the spread of diseases such as cholera as well as COVID-19, there is need for integrated efforts among various stakeholders. Henry Lumpa Jr., Zanis in Chinsali, Mchinga Province.
The Drug Enforcement Commission DEC says it has made positive strides in investigating financial crimes in the country. DEC Director General Mary Chilwa says the Commission has since recovered some resources that have been channeled back to sectors such as education and health. Ms. Chilwa vows that the Commission will continue with its mandate of fighting drug trafficking and money laundering in the country. More in the following report by Zanis Malumba.
These are regional commanders and their deputies, together with heads of departments of the Drug Enforcement Commission. They are here to attend the 22nd Senior Officers Conference under the theme, Service with Passion and Integrity. DEC Director General Mary Chilwa states the importance of this conference.
That your officers considered the following: the 2023 implementation plan for the 2022 to 2026 strategic plan, performance management challenges, exhibit management and storage, current trends in drugs, precursor chemicals, and clandestine laboratories.
Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security, Jack Mwimbu, officially opened the conference.
I'm delighted that you have embarked on improving money laundering prevention and control mechanisms in the next 4 years, as indicated in your recently launched 2022 to 2026 strategic plan.
Government is however concerned with the increased cases of drug trafficking in the country.
The problem of illicit drug trafficking and abuse in the country has been on the rise. And this is a concern for government, as exotic drugs such as heroin and cocaine are now easily accessible by young people in our communities. In this vein, I hereby appeal to parents and guardians to take keen interest in the social interactions and development of their children.
Later, the Director General announced the great strides that the Commission has made in investigating financial crimes in the country.
We have seen the strides that we have made in investigating financial crimes, and we have seen the benefits of what our work can do, that we can bring back resources that can be put in the rightful sectors of the economy. In education, I think we saw from one of the cases that was showcased, which we were a part of as Drug Enforcement Commission. So many other cases may not have been announced, but the results are there to speak for themselves. We can use these resources to better our economy in different sectors, education, health, and so on.
Jane Simalumba Zanis in Lusaka.
We continue with the news. Over 20,000 small-scale farmers in Southern Province have been affected by flash floods. Acting Provincial Agricultural Coordinator Ponyambe says the floods have affected 11 out of 15 districts, and that Monze is the worst hit district with about 12,000 households affected and 12,000 crop fields flooded. Costa Mdenda filed in this report.
Southern Province has yet again been hardly hit by flash floods that has left most crops and houses submerged, affecting 11 out of 15 districts.
20,580 households have been affected, and somewhere almost close to 20,000 hectares of land has been reported to actually have been flooded. So maize, sorghum, and a number of legumes, especially cowpeas and soybeans, which has been coming up very well amongst our smallholders. These crops have been flooded.
Among the 11 affected districts, Monze has suffered the worst.
Monze, which I think currently is standing at around 12,000 households, we have been affected, and about 10,000 hectares of cropland has been flooded. We also saw quite very high figures coming from Iteji, Namala, and Mazabuka. Some flooding has also been reported in some very productive districts, Kalomo. So we have some figures there, but I think they are not as bad as these four which I've just mentioned. We have the valley areas. We can safely say that so far
not all the 4 valley areas, but I think we have had the very worst cases in Sinazongwe.
This, however, tells that dams have not been spared.
We are expecting that more dams are in bad shape. They will need assessment to see how strong they are, and to check on whether some other districts which have not reported might have issues to do with the strength of dam to hold more water.
The damage that has caused by these flash floods, especially on crops, will negatively affect the yield, and the hunger is anticipated in affected regions. Costa Kimdenda, Zanis, in Choma District, Southern Province.
Lusaka Province Permanent Secretary Robert Kamalata has implored residents in Chongwe District to take ownership of water dams in their communities by maintaining the surroundings around the water bodies. Mr. Kamalata said the 75 dams dotted across the district have been providing residents with various benefits, but most of them remain in deplorable condition. He was speaking when he toured Chinkuli Dam in Chongwe District. Here are the details.
Chongwe District is home to 75 dams, which are a source of fish, pasture for animals, and water for gardening for residents in the area. However, most dams in the area remain in a poor state. During a monitoring visit to Chinkuli Dam, Lusaka Province Permanent Secretary Robert Kamalata called on residents in the area to take the lead in ensuring that the dam is well maintained for them to continue benefiting from the water body.
You people in Ministry of Water, the engineers from Water Department, it's time you started planning and budgeting for this exercise. Let us not wait until this dam is completely covered. Of course, we started the program last year, where now we're involving the community. The committee can come and supervise the cleaning of this dam so that it's maintained. The small maintenance on a small basis, they can do it. But when it comes to major, definitely government will come in.
And Lusaka Provincial Water Development Officer David Musonda explained the efforts made by the Department of Water Resources Management to sensitize residents in Chinkuli Ward on how to maintain the dam.
When the government built these dams, it was like giving a gift to the communities, but there was no ownership on the part of the community. So they were always looking at the government to come and do the maintenance. So this is why now we are saying we are changing the board so that the community themselves start understanding that this is their property and they need to take care of it.
Meanwhile, residents in the area have shown willingness to maintain the area around the dam.
Awe, damu yonekera sioneka munshi kuzi madoti yanapakisa. Damu kativalira manje sometimes bintu binango mwatonongera kuzi ndimwe ntimapezera munga ndiyo. Kuna madamu ambiri yali na mawaya. So ngati mavarai damu ishimanje sikulipo kwa njambo meza nsoma. Ndimwe ntimapezako umoyo mwankanya ndiyo.
The Department of Water Resources Management later proceeded to hand over tools to the Chinkuli Dam Committee, which they are expected to use for the maintenance of the dam. Sheila Makosa for Zanis in Chongwe District.
On the Copperbelt Province, Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development Permanent Secretary for Administration Mambo Hamaundu is happy with progress made on some projects financed from the 2022 Constituency Development Fund in Ndola District. Mr. Hamaundu, who visited Kantolomba Monas Shelter and Mwenya Police Post projects, says he is happy that the local contractors are working towards producing timely and quality works. Here are the details.
Following the increase in allocation of Constituency Development Funds (CDF) last year and timely disbursement, communities have started witnessing stimulation in investment and improved standards of living, also infrastructure development. Resources are financing critical social sectors such as health, education, and social protection. Ndola District, which has 4 constituencies, has received over 100 million kwacha for 2022 CDF. The Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Permanent Secretary for Administration, Mambo Hamaundu, was in Ndola to inspect some projects financed using CDF in order to appreciate how resources are being utilized.
This is being done using the 2022 CDF, and of course we still have 2023 CDF. We are hoping to see more and more projects responding to the needs of the residents or communities within Ndola, within Kitwe, within Mwansha, within all the 156 constituencies. Of course, as government, we've also decided to say we need to have a police vehicle bought for each constituency.
Mr. Hamaundu has implored the local authority to ensure there is transparency and timeliness in the projects being funded.
Yes. I think this is what we are looking for as government. Quality, when I look at the blocks, they look okay. I have an engineer with me. If there's anything wrong with it, I'm sure that he'll write me a report privately. But from an amateur's point of view, I can say that this looks like quality work, and I'm hoping that when it is all done, it will really meet the standards that the police needs.
Riversdale Resources Group is the construction company working on the police post in Mwenye Township.
Our aim is to beat the target. We want to change the trajectory. Normally, the narrative has been that Zambian contractors abandon projects and they don't finish in time. But we want to do something different whereby we finish before time.
Nelly Botta reporting for Zanis in Ndola.
In the education sector, the Masaiti District Council has started distributing desks which were procured using the 2022 Constituency Development Fund, CDF. Mlofwa Primary School in Shimibanga Ward in Masaiti constituency has benefited from the first consignment of desks. More in the following report by Nkwachi Chanda.
There are 50 in number. These are desks that have been delivered to Mlofwa Primary School of Shimibanga Ward of Masaiti constituency, giving hope to the learners who've been sitting on the floor for some time now. The desks have been procured under the Constituency Development Fund for 2022.
The regional government for the increment of CDF from 1.6 now up to 27.8. We've seen that it is addressing most of the challenges that we've been facing, the community, most especially at schools. Like here at Mlofwa Primary School, they have shortage of desks, and they've been given desks. They've been procured at a cost of 270, about 50 desks. And we are sure that by the end of this year, most of the schools will receive a good number of desks.
Mlofwa Primary School acting head teacher is elated, saying the desks will cushion the furniture deficit at the school.
We're grateful today as the new government has fulfilled what he has promised to our learners. We had the deficit of about 130 desks, but at least today the deficit has been reduced. Now we need about 85.
The initiative of making desks has not just ended at benefiting the learners, but has also seen the local cooperatives empowered.
To deliver the desk here at Mlofwa Primary School. We've delivered 50 here. We took another 50 to Lev Monwasa at Kashitu. So a total of 100 from the CDF arrangement. This has never happened before. It's the first of its kind. The benefit is now visible. All of us are feeling it. It's trickling down to all of us. It has never happened.
It is indeed gratifying to see government's commitment of ensuring that no child sits on the floor by the end of 2023 being actualized. Nkwachi Chanda for Zanis, Masaiti District, Copperbelt Province.
In the business sector, Muchinga Province Permanent Secretary Henry Mukungule has called on various local and foreign investors to come on board ahead of the Muchinga 2023 Investment Forum and Tourism Expo slated for October. Mr. Mukungule says the input of the private sector is critical towards the effective planning of the event. He was speaking during a special program on Zanis television channel in Lusaka. Mr. Mukungule said the provincial administration is on course with preparations for the expo, saying various cooperating partners are being engaged in the planning process. He disclosed that a number of investors have shown interest in investing in the province in various sectors such as agriculture and mining, among others. And Mchinga Investment Forum and Tourism Expo coordinator Sandra Kambuluki said the expo aims at unlocking the province for investment.
You may also wish to know that Mchinga province contributes very little in terms of GDP to the country and to the province itself. So we thought that maybe we needed to bring in investors into the province so that they could come and help to develop the province. We want to appeal to the investors also to come and look at that. We have rare earth metals that can be used in the production or manufacturing of maybe computers, phones, and the other facilities that require components of the rare earth metal.
We've segmented the areas that Mchinga province has comparative advantage, in which we are basically looking at the investment forum and expo. Among the sectors that we are focusing on is agriculture, mining, tourism, energy, and also forestry. We came up with these sectors because we know Mchinga province has potential to grow in these sectors. We just don't want to talk about potential, then we leave it at that. But we are looking at going a step further and following the footsteps of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, who is so passionate about bringing investment and growing Zambia at large in order to bring development. So we are focusing on growing Mchinga province as a team under provincial administration.
More than 440 women in Mwansawombwe district who were trained in life and business skills are earmarked to benefit from Phase 5 of the Supporting Women Livelihood Project. District Community Development Officer Elizabeth Musesa says each beneficiary is expected to receive 4,000 kwacha. More in the following report by Lewis Changwe.
The Supporting Women's Livelihood SWL project has entered Phase 5 in Mwansawombwe district. So far, the Department of Community Development has conducted the payment enrollment and distributed the cell phones to all the 443 beneficiaries in the district.
We recorded a total of 443 beneficiaries who were trained in life and business skills out of the 444 that were targeted under Phase 5 implementation. So what you are witnessing is basically us enrolling them for payments. And these payments will be made according to the service charter a month after they receive the funds. Then after that, they will receive these payments on the mobile phones that we have actually given them.
And M10 Wapla region representative Ndumba Ndumba used the occasion to sensitize the women to guard against fraudsters.
We're just trying to sensitize the women, especially looking at their level of the literacy levels are quite low. Sensitizing them about issues to do with fraudulent activities, because most of the time they're the ones who fall victim of such cases. So emphasize more on securing their pins and also making sure that the services are delivered within the premises where they are working from.
The beneficiaries have since promised to put the funds to good use.
Business in the from upon the business in big and
when I went to Andy Bomba, me so na kwata machine ngatwapokera lenda la machine ndesu bila kutina lakabira na futu kushitira po machine.
Lewis Changwe, Zanis, Mwansawombwe.
And finally in the news, 3 Ministry of Agriculture officers and 2 others in Luansha district have pleaded not guilty to 1 count of theft by public servant, contrary to Section 272 and 277 of the Penal Code, Chapter 87 of the Laws of Zambia. The trio took plea before Luansha Magistrate Mutukwa Muyangana in a case where they are alleged to have stolen 51 bags of decompound fertilizer valued at over 50,000 kwacha meant for the Farmer Import Support Program. Another look at the top stories in our news. President Hakainde Hichilema says countries should unite to address challenges. The Drug Enforcement Commission has recorded progress in fighting financial crimes. And floods have affected over 20,000 farmers in Southern Province. And lastly, Local Government Permanent Secretary for Administration Mambo Hamaundu is happy with the utilization of CDF funds in Ndola District. That is all we had for you on Zanis News. On behalf of the entire news production crew, my name is Henry Himonde. Remember, we are one Zambia, one nation. Until next time, it's goodbye.